Hey everyone, Nick from Nick's Crossing here. Welcome back to the training room for an awesome tutorial. Today we're going to talk about and set up this awesome DCS Wi-Fi Explorer. So here we go guys, all aboard. Alright guys, for the longest time I've been looking for one of these DCS devices to operate some of my PS2 and PS3 trains from MTH, and it's been a nightmare trying to find command and control devices for, of course, an affordable price. They are out there, they're just very expensive, and the market isn't as flooded as it used to be. So it is hard to find these devices. So anyways, went into a local train shop, picked up this DCS Wi-Fi Explorer for 150 bucks, bought the power brick for another 50. So we're ready to rock and roll and set this awesome device up. This was brand new in the box with the antenna and the instructions we'll be walking through step by step. Now just a few things. This is very limited, so you can only run up to 7 amps of power, and I believe 2 trains at a time. So I really would only run 1 train at a time with this. If you're running a nice, passenger train or something like that with a lot of lights in it, I would highly recommend just running 1 at a time. And also, I'm gonna have to phase this in with my layout because everything on my layout's phased. So we can get into that. There is a ground pole on the power brick, but the max output of this is 7 amps. They mean that it's all over the place. There's like warnings on the back and everything. No more than 7 amps of power. We're running a 100-watt brick. This is actually a Z1000 brick that was recommended to run with this. So during the setup, we'll get into all of that. But it's pretty easy. We're going to follow the instructions step by step. There are 2 different modes. Basically, one is the DCS Explorer acting as your network, so as your router. So when you're connected to that with a smart device, your device will not work with like phone calls or emails, or you won't get other notifications or YouTube notifications. So there's another mode called WPS that I use up here that bypasses that and actually links this up with your home router by the push of a button. So you're able to still receive phone calls and all of that. So it is very important to understand which mode's for you. Some of you guys in your train room may not want to receive notifications from the outside world. Totally understand that. But for me, using my only smartphone, yeah, it's kind of important to get phone calls and texts and all that. All right, guys, we are topside on the bench, and a couple things that you'll need a section of track, just using my test tubular set here. You'll need the DCS Wi-Fi Explorer with the antenna. The antenna is detachable. It's in the box separate, so the first instruction that we're going to do out of everything is to attach the antenna. You also need 2 pieces of wire, red and black. I like to color code everything. Make sure that your red wire is in the center, your black wire is on your outer track. Just make sure everything's set with that. Now the Z1000 brick, oh God, this thing's so heavy. It's MTH, so input 120 volts AC, 60 hertz, output 14 volts AC, 80 watts, or 18 volt AC at 100 watts. So your specs are down here. Your 14 volt out are these 2 pins right here. We're gonna use this common as a ground pole when I finally wire this in phase with my layout. But for now, we're gonna use this as a separate just power supply using, if I can find it, using the center pin connector that they give you with the Z1000 brick right here. This actually plugs right into a Z1000 controller, so same power brick, just this one's sold separately. So you also get a little 7 amp breaker. Actually, it says 6 amp breaker on your Z1000 brick. There is also a fuse on your Wi-Fi controller here. Now, a couple things. There's a USB out of this. You need an adapter for that. And also on the side, you get the WPS button, which we'll talk about during the second half of the video. You also get 2 different modes, home and MTH. So we got everything here. You also need a smart device, and you also need the MTH DCS app right here. So we're gonna leave that open on the table. First thing we're gonna do is give our DCS Explorer power. So once you get your track wired up and everything, we're first going to do, like I said, MTH mode. This is the mode that your phone or device is going to think that this is the only network, so you will not receive any other notifications on the outside world. So let's plug this in. All right, first we're going to get our power light. The WPS light's going to light up for a little bit. It should go out because we're not in WPS mode, or home mode as it calls it. And now this device is going to start creating its own Wi-Fi signal or network. When that happens, our Wi-Fi light will light up. And then the track button, or the track light here, that's just going to glow red saying, hey, these wires are hot. So don't short them out. You might blow something up. So give it a second here. And in the meantime, I'm going to go through my Wi-Fi settings on my device. And I'm using an iOS device, so iPhone. This is a 13 Pro Max. So this is now broadcasting a separate DCS Wi-Fi signal. And it should come up here in just a second on my list. There it is. So I'm at my home network now. It's called the NICS. And right now, MTH DCS, we're going to hit this. Now, it's going to link to it instantly. But when this unit is new, you're going to have to enter in a password just like your Wi-Fi password at home. There's also no internet connection because this is not producing internet. This is just producing a network. So it's not like, you're not on the wide world web. It's just producing a signal. So you would click this, and under password right here, you would type in the password that your device has been assigned in your instructions. So right here, our password, also known as a network key, is MTH DCS Wi-Fi. So you could change that, but I believe this is like the standard password. Let's see. Open the app and select DCS system type. Now this is very important. So we're going to open up our DCS app. Basically all you hit is run my trains. It's going to find my unit here. We're going to go to more at the bottom. It says more. Go to app settings. Now this is very important. You get two different systems. DCS Wii U or DCS Explorer. When I'm at the Railroad Club, I'm going to hit this. Now that's going to hook me up to their DCS Wii U. But we're using a DCS Explorer right here. Make sure to hit DCS Explorer. You might have some issues, so make sure you go through, hit the more, app setting, hit DCS Explorer. That will really mess some things up. It might be kind of confusing. You might not be able to find your trains and things like that. So the next step is to add an engine. So that's very easy. Right here, we're going to hit this down arrow at the top that's flashing at me. We're going to add an engine. We're going to add an MTH engine. And my unit just clicked. And there it is, UP ST70 ACE. We're going to run this engine. And here we go. Let's start her up. All right. And of course, we got to give a horn blast. Alright, so on the app, this is some of the limited features that you get. You get the bell, you get the horn, you get forward and reverse. Here's forward at 1 mile per hour, and then you get reverse. Alright guys, we are linked to the engine. It just lost connection because of the dirty track here. So anyways, we're going to go through our list, what things you can do. So here's the basic app interface right here. This usually gives you a list, so you can't get all these different signals and things with the DCS Explorer. But with a Wii U, you can. Also other things like ditch boards, marker, interior lights, number boards, things like that you cannot access, which is kind of disappointing, but you can get your basic functions such as reverse coupler, forward coupler, and then you get your volume settings here, which is kind of nice. So you can turn on and off your volume. Smoke unit on and off. Then engine sounds, you can turn them off. And then also your headlight. So you do get some options here. And you also get passenger freight announcements, which all you have to do.
How many cars you got?
Got 8 cars.
Just stand by there for a minute or two.
So they're going to go through that whole cycle right there. Those actually are the same sounds sometimes located in here. But this does have a lot of cool sounds. This is a Proto Sound 2 with a 3-volt board. And you can run her forward or reverse using the DCS app. As you can see, it's moving right there. So we're going to shut her down. And we're going going to reset our DCS Explorer to be in WPS mode. So I'm going to actually close out of the app right here, and then we're going to unplug our DCS Explorer and pretty much start over. Alright guys, we're now going to reset our DCS Explorer to work in home mode. So what we're going to first do is hit this little switch over on the side to home. Alright, that's in home mode. Now what we're going to do is power this unit up. It says apply power to the Explorer, allow a minute for it to initiate. For ready, power LED lights should be lit. Press the WPS button on your home Wi-Fi router. So for mine, with the Comcast router, it's on top. Then press the WPS button on the Explorer. So for me, what I did for this, I called Nikki and I said, hey, can you please go downstairs and hit the Wi-Fi router? She hit that and she said, okay, I hit the button. Then I hit the button on the side here for WPS. And then after that, it links up. Then this WPS button should be lit. So after that, it basically says, wait for the WPS LED on the Explorer to steadily light. If not, go for a few minutes. So we're going to wait for it. It might have to be reset. Alright, according to the instructions, in WPS mode, this light will turn off, the Wi-Fi button will light up, and then your track button will light up. So right now, it's trying to link back to the Wi-Fi system downstairs. We now have Wi-Fi, then track should turn on shortly. So just give it a minute here to start up. The WPS light here will shut off entirely, and then we should be good to run our locomotive. So right there, we're linked up. So like I said, you do not have to go through and find it in WPS mode, and your Wi-Fi will not be there because this device is no longer producing a searchable Wi-Fi signal. This is actually going through your router in your house in WPS mode. So we're going to go to the app, hit Run My Trains, and let's see, I might have to reset the ACE. Add MTH engine, yep, it's going to find it. And also pays to clean your track once in a while. So here we go. And that's in WPS mode. Track is also purple right now. It's receiving signal. Alright, let's see if it'll move forward. And there we go, let's shut her down. So guys, that is the basic setup for this DCS Wi-Fi Explorer. It's really easy, and honestly, I love having this. I can't wait to actually hook this in loop with my other items on the layout. So this will actually have to be in phase. Now, the only reason why everything on my layout is currently in phase, let me unplug this really quick. So at the bottom of here, you have common. So right here, common out. So that's going to have a ground plug that's hooked up in phase with my other items on the layout, other transformers. So all the transformers on my layout talk to one another. So I do have one accessory that works off of phasing, and that is actually an MTH product. It's my crossing gates in the back. They require the track to be in phase, so you can run accessory power through those. And then the ground actually just finds its way back to the accessory transformer. So pretty complicated. It's simple. It's like magic once it's done, but it works out really well. So all this will be in phase. So while running this, I can actually operate my crossing gates on the track. All right, everyone, that's going to do it for this video, setting up the DCS Wi-Fi Explorer and also going through both features, the MTH mode and the home mode. I run mine in home mode. I think it works a little bit better. This talking to the Wi-Fi downstairs and everything. I think it's an awesome system if you're interested in getting involved with DCS or command control. And this does work off DCS, so it's a little bit different than your legacy control, which now works mostly off Bluetooth or radio signal. So this is a different system. You guys have to understand it is a different beast than Lionel's command control stuff, which is annoying in this hobby that O-scale we can't figure out one communal command control standard compared to like DCC and things like that. But anyways, guys, if you're new to the channel, always consider subscribing. Giving the video one of these really helps. Love to hear your comments. If you have any questions with this, please write them in the comments respectfully. Till next time, everyone, happy railroading. We'll see you next time. See you guys.